One does not want to see the face of politics, right? What we have been doing has been nothing but transparent in getting the need that is required to the communities that require it, right? What we've been now doing is assiduously planning the recovery efforts for a compound. The January 6 celebrations is around the corner. There's also a lot of planning and work that has to go in that. People underestimate the level of time and work that it takes to put these things together. There are a few who thought the response was saying we do not want any help, and that was not the message. That was not what was communicated. So again, look forward in an affirmative way that the council and the government will be working together to aid in the recovery process of a compound and adjoining Maroon district.
So through the handful of labor right, get up and fight the man for what? For a reason. Eh? You make a little money in the town, if you fix it all, they want it in them hand.
Our assistant in locating the Member of Parliament for part of Northern and Southern Killarney, Miss Phyllis Dalrymple. It has been almost 6 weeks since the hurricane, and persons in your constituency are saying they have not seen or heard from you. Your delegates that work with you during the election to get you nominated are going under pressure because the people them will then use wheelchair and walker. If you pull out of their house, if you go vote for you, they are not happy and they're frustrated and they're getting upset. Bear in mind, you go want them again. The last thing I put out in the paper was that your house roof blow off, so the people them soon see you. Which that is poor excuse, and that should not be an excuse why you cannot do your job. Please go visit the constituency and do the right thing. Sir Andrew Holness, please, I'm asking you, let Miss Phyllis Dalrymple go visit her constituency and do right by her people. Coming from a Dayati laborite. All right.
Big up the whole of hot water. Hey, we even have dash water. You might talk about even pot water. Hot water. Big up that data. Big up myself, father. And I don't love and love alone.
Hot Water, Massive and Crew, Busmal Ryan here. Yes, viewers and subscriber, yard and abroad, you know, and people locally and internationally. Yeah, thank you for tuning in once more this afternoon. Let me give you the download real quick. So Everton Blender with some wise words, you know, and just blessing up the people, you know. So this lady has an issue with her adolescent child. You know, the child reaches a certain age and wants to act as an adult. But people leave in the comment section how best you think the mother should deal with the situation when you hear of it too. In that comment video, my people. So for all who don't know, Jamaica is self-insured. We have an insurance, a self-insurance, and a percentage of it has been given to JPS or will be given to JPS. But Mr. Crawford wants to know if the remaining percentage, if the country or the government is going to spend it on us now that the West needs to be aided in the recovery process. You know, so Mr. Crawford will definitely ask that question, and you can stay tuned to watch the video to hear the answer. My people, an African Union as it relates to the unity of Africa, Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traoré and other African countries, you know, have been barred out of the Union due to the way of how they rise in power. You know, it seems as if foreign invaders had invaded the Union and tried to expel these countries from the Union to gain, so that they can gain power. You will hear more from a lady about that. And you know, many times people take people for a fool, but this lady has some wise words as to how you should maintain your composure, you know, and it will benefit you in the end. You get me, my people? So yes, my people, and Liza Hanna, I have to give some credit to her, I should say, because from ever since I was born, it's the first I have ever heard someone, like, I don't know if other people have heard, but it's the first I am hearing a politician, I would say, but she's a former politician, with such brilliant idea as to how to increase Jamaica GDP by using naturally what God gave us. I definitely want to hear that. Yes, and they say that age has wisdom, but not for everyone. This man now will totally give an explanation and reasoning as to how a media personality and a lot of us are lacking a certain knowledge, and he will give us some knowledge in his statements for people. So stay tuned. We definitely want to hear, especially Miss Liza and a video, and this other man that is telling us about the land, you know, as it regards to people that own our beaches. You know, my people, stay tuned. Your boy Busmal Ryan. Yes, words from the wise to the wise. Let us take it from Everton Blender. Let's hear what the man has to say.
Behind that dark cloud is a silver lining. And remember, at the end of the darkest tunnel, there's a light that's shining. See? Everton Blender said, "General run no wire fence." See? Same thing for Jill, same thing for Jack. So they must hold the blessing and just live upright. Praise the Almighty. and all things will be right. See, Everton Blender say, lift up your head. Up there, Rastafari.
Yes, man, my people, you know, totally in this time, you know, in the devastation in Jamaica, we should surely lift up our heads and hold it up high and praise the Almighty, you know, and have hope in better days to come. For it surely will come despite of the adversaries and the way in which our leader is moving, which is inappropriate or not sympathetic or empathetic towards the people now that is facing such harsh struggle. But there will be a brighter day, as Mr. Blender said. There is no wire fence, you know. So better is to come. So people, when you have a child and they reach the age of an adolescent or becoming and reaching what we call teens in their prime time, oftentimes it seems as if boys want to have more fun. But this mother is struggling with her daughter. You know, my people, just let us hear and see if this can make sense for any of us. Let us watch and hear what she has to say first.
Let me show you something. So my son just come in my room and said, Mom, she not there. Look where girl do. Girl sneak out of the window. Hey, me not hold my mouth pan nothing no more, you know. I swear to God, me not hold my mouth pan nothing. The girl sneak out of the window. Yeah, man, them something me have to deal with. This is what me get. For you try parent, not the hard way. Soft parenting, them something me get. Yeah, man. And something me have to deal with. Beer carelessness, smoking, I do beer road, girl child, 13. Hey, me never used to have forgot me. One look alone set me straight with my father. Furthermore, I would have been back me down a long time. I could have tried certain stuff, but me, I go and bill. And me used to run back at them. And I call police and I tell them about how them left house every minute. And I do therapy before I tell me about go do therapy. I do therapy. The little girl says she not see no improvement, so she don't want the therapy no more. I not hold my mouth no more. Oh, you have to improve when you not improve yourself, eh? Me alone can't try. Me alone can't try. And me not ask for nothing more than wash the little plate them in the house. That's it. This is why I guess me spoiler. Week and a half ago, me with my little stupid go carry her emergency room after she decides that she had jumped out her window after me confront she because she have vape in my house and me tell her don't bring her drugs in my house. I go school and I smoke out the people them school every minute them I confiscate and the school have because only when them decide that them want to give her the ending of the school year suspension them I come tell me about them confiscate how much vape. Why the you are tell me this now? Me never know say she have a drug problem. Me say, anything motherhood easy? Imagine, motherhood is not fucking easy and it's not for the weak. Me alright, I gotta sit down right here so. Anything she look for a road, she go find it.
Well, yeah. Motherhood is not for the weak. For the weak is the statement that she finishes with. What I want to say, yes, motherhood is not for the weak, yes. But oftentimes, in the home, the father is not there. And sometimes the father is not there not because the father don't want to be there, but because of the temperament and the mentality of the mother. Now, oftentimes now, the father is really strict and won't let certain things breeze pass, as Jamaicans would say. But these mentality of the mother is what causes sometimes fathers to be absent. Now, I want to ask, where's that little girl father? Now, she as the mom make a very good clear example and give us an example of how one look of her father would get her in place. You know, knows that she has to get her game together. So what I would like to ask, where's this child's father to get the child in together? And for teenagers, definitely, you know, it is put in the music and all about for us to look short term dopamine burst, short term feelings of niceness, and this over a period of time often destroys the brain and let you only become weaker to craving and the feeling of niceness. So this young lady now, I'm in a community where I see a lot of young girls. They are very unruly and might somewhat be an example to what this mother is saying. You get me? And what I notice definitely, mothers often spoil children. Yes, they does that. Whether it be a boy child or a girl child, especially if it's the first child. sorry, especially if it's the first child. Mothers always. You have fathers, yes, that state that they might never have such life and they want to give their children a good life, but moms often spoiled. Notice moms want their boys to have the latest of the latest and behave and give them unnecessary things that they don't really need. Moms often spoil kids, yes, especially if it's their first kids. When I used to go to school and you see the guys in the latest of the latest and always behave in certain way that all the girls rush. When it comes to report day, it is always some woman that have to be boxing them down, as Jamaica would terms it. Yes, so we know woman has a tendency to spoil. She tried to deal with everything and wants her kids to look pretty and have it easy as it is her state and of mentality. You know, but definitely what I would advise any child to do, please, don't run down certain things before time and stress your parents, because your parents have been there before and they have the experience, and sometime in the future you will look back and you will say you're sorry. So this mom state that anything want to reach her, but I'll tell this mom, call the father and get this child at hand, because if it's pregnancy before time, it's gonna reach her, you're the mom and you're still gonna be the grandmom, and you're not gonna want to see your grandchild suffer. Jamaica has a self-insurance, in case many people don't know, and based on a question asked by Mr. Crawford, the government or who is in charge seems to don't want to deplete the funds, and Mr. Crawford want to be clear if there's no more of that self-insurance left for now, but to help or aid in certain situations. But let us hear more from the question of Mr. Crawford.
One question, Chairman. This self-insurance, is it totally depleted or are there more funds left available?
Right. I had indicated that we kept back $5 million US for prudential purposes.
5?
Yes, 5
million. Mm-hmm. So do they have access to that, or that will just be maintained to keep
he
it?
He said of the 50, they've given out JPS access to 45 already. They have 5 that they've held back for prudential purposes, which may or
some
may
of these
not.
terms, Chairman, I don't know them,
What, prudential?
And I don't know what they are.
No, well, just that we don't want to completely deplete the fund. There may be obligations that the fund has that.
So they don't have access to this other 5 then for this period?
As of now, not. They don't.
And you'll prefer to maintain that reality?
That would be our preference.
Okay. So therefore, they can't access any more from that self-insurance. All things held constant.
Well, we can still waive it, but as of now, I have indicated what our preference would be, that we keep some money in the fund, so not to completely deplete it.
Finally, for Water Commission, the K factor. Every customer pays this K factor?
Yes.
And therefore, is there a national plan for the reduction of water wastage? Because some of us have not seen that effort in our spaces.
Actually, yes, the NWC has a proposal and for the island. As it has been rolled out in phases, as I indicated, KCMC, is that? And St. Catherine currently. Right. So, but there is.
You mean
a national
and Portmore? Because I am St. Catherine and I don't. No, but I'm St. Catherine, so I want to be clear that Linstead haven't seen anybody doing no K factor.
They don't reach Linstead yet.
Okay.
So they're going from the most dense, the areas that have the most accounts, where they're losing the most water, and from the major systems, and then they're rolling out to this. So they started in the Kingston and St. Andrew metropolitan area, and then they're going to Portmore now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, my people. So that news is out. So Water Commission will definitely be well, we often see them digging up roads and fixing leaks and installing new pipes. So you heard about that. But this first I want to say is about big words. Yes, big words. I like the fact that Mr. Crawford point out that he does not comprehend what or understand what some of these words mean, because this is what often happens sometime in the House of Parliament. A number of times when these political leaders are speaking, somewhere in the conversation people get lost, like the listeners get lost due to the use of certain words, and that is a barrier to communication. And this is why when political leaders say certain things. People that are biased, meaning that you choose a party. So even if your political leader says something that means you're wrong and you don't understand it because of certain words that is used, you just say, yeah, because you are biased and this is what you need to cut out. So I think in the House of Parliament, these people definitely should use simple words so people can get what is truly being said. So a big respect to Mr. Crawford for being a man and not having any pride and just making it clear. Sorry, not showing too much pride and making it clear that he does not understand or comprehend what that word means. Yes, credentials. Credentials mean information. For information, you know. So definitely, JPS, that self-insurance, JPS has gone, or the government has given JPS 45%. And then Mr. Crawford is asking if there is any more. You know, because you give JPS so much and the people really need some of that now. So Mr. Crawford really want to know if there is more, and they're gonna say that there is more, but for now they don't want to stress it. They don't want to stress that fund. Well, if it is insurance for Jamaica, you have to stress it. Right now is the perfect time for it to be stressed or to be used, and I don't think so much of it should have been given to JPS. 45%. I think that should be withheld and listen to Mr. Ian Hill's statement and his ideas, and that could perfect most of this. Some of this 45% could have been probably reduced to a 15% or none at all. Give them, extend the license so that they can go and use it as to secure a loan from some private sector in some other region. Yeah, so I definitely don't support the fact that they say that they can't. What makes you can't? If it is an insurance, this crisis that the West is going through is definitely the right time and the right reason to use all the funds. In an African Union, there should be all African countries united within that union. But some African countries are out of that union, and this lady will ask a question and also give some statements which might spark the idea of why. But let's listen, my people.
You know which African countries have currently been banned from the African Union? The Alliance of Sahel States countries. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, all banned, expelled, excommunicated from the African Union. The reason being the way these African nations' leaderships came to power via military coup. That is something that is totally unacceptable to the African Union. But you know what's acceptable? That the United Arab Emirates is sitting in African Union meetings, that Israel is sitting in African Union meetings. It was sitting up until recently when it too was kicked out. But I'm pretty sure that it will come back to sit in African Union meetings. This is what is happening at this organization, and they need to answer our questions. What are they doing? Why are they so counter-revolutionary? Why are they so anti-African? This organization that was started in 1963 under the leadership of people like Kwame Nkrumah, 32 independent African nations established this organization and headquartered it in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The way it started is not the way it's going. The current chairmanship of the African Union is under a man called Mahmoud Yusuf. He is a former foreign minister from Djibouti. Djibouti is a tiny African country, barely registers on a map. But this African nation, to me, is the most geopolitically strategic nation in the world. It sits right on the Gulf of Aden. This is where the Red Sea and the Indian Oceans meet. This is where the African continent and the Arabian Peninsula meet. This positioning, this maritime positioning is so important. So important that more than 10 foreign military bases are currently in Djibouti. Military bases from Japan, Italy, the US and UK, of course, even Saudi's military forces are there. What is going on? I think this man is compromised. I think this former foreign minister from Djibouti is compromised. I think the entire organization is compromised, and it should be investigated and totally disbanded.
So, yes, my people, definitely. So, African leader like Ibrahim Traore is banned from the union. Why? Because that definitely, because she stated because the way they came to power through military. So that what she means is that because they use their power and they rised up against the popular system of governance, you know, because, you know, Traore had his troops and the overthrow who was there, you know, in order to gain, to be there. You got me? So, the union, if you notice, in many African countries, there are invaders, have military base in those countries. Which I know, as what you hear she's saying, they have military bases which they use and agents deployed in every one of those countries. You know, they infiltrate the union, and they are the one, I think, that call the shots for man like Ibrahim Traore to be expelled or banned from the union. You know, so Africa can't be uniting with outsiders in our unity. Who is not your brother have to stay where they are, and who is your brother is part of you. So Africa need to do just like Traore and let this union be amongst the African brothers. Yes, Africa needs to do that and reunite again. Africa unite, because we're moving right out of Babylon. So my people, definitely what she's saying, I understand, and I hope you guys understand definitely what she's saying. So Africa is just used to get rid of the invaders and unite. Jamaicans, yard and abroad. Tom is junk, but Tom no fool. So you can take a person naiveness, or you can take a person for a fool over and over again. But notice, by you constantly doing that, people will catch up on the pattern. But let's listen to some words from this lady who will speak something in relation to what I've just said.
Baby, I don't know who needs to hear this, but sometimes there is beauty in letting people believe that you are truly unaware of who they are. You know, my mama used to say, just wait. People will tell you who they are sooner than they think that you know. And she was right. Because see, baby, if you sit still long enough, the truth starts clearing its throat. That mask on them gets heavy. Intention starts showing. And the same people that said, I got you, will accidentally reveal that they never did. They showed their intentions. And baby, you learn that discernment doesn't always require confrontation. Sometimes it's just a simple observation. Sometimes God will show you everything you need to see without you raising your voice or your expectations. And when you stop rushing to prove that you're aware, when you stop trying to correct the narrative, when you let the space do the work, my baby, people expose themselves quicker than any question that you ever could ask. So let them think that you don't know. Let them underestimate you, because you are not confused, my baby. You're just patient. And patience has a way of revealing what pride tries to hide. And one thing about it, and two things for sure, my baby, a fool will always show their hand when they think that you are not looking. Huh? Remember that. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, man. So evil is quick to act and always demands control, and oftentimes show up itself because what? Sometimes it push to a point of overdoing things, and oftentimes if you ever react, then you will get the victim role. They'll use that to blame you and be a kind of narcissistic. So right now in your life, if you're having trouble with any person like that, just stay calm, man, because as the sister said, that God has a way to reveal them. You know, they'll do. When the person that wants to control feel as if because you're easy, they are in control, that is just what you need to stay humble enough for you to see who they truly are. So trust me, man. So people, if you can't be safe, be careful when it comes on to people. People, I'm not biased. And when someone deserves credit, give them the credit. People, from ever since I was born, and in the longest while, it's the first I hear someone talk so much sense as it regards to the development and Jamaica wealth. We have wealth in our eyes, but we are blinded because we are not being ourselves. We are running down something else. And I think that people should take this advice from Liza Hanna. She was asked a question, and she in turn used an explanation to answer the question. And I think this, what she says, is the answer to our financial problem in Jamaica. People, listen to this.
I can answer that question in several ways, but I'm going to take it to its most granular. I can answer that question in several ways, but I want to get as granular as possible. If I was to ask you, what would you like to see for your country in 5 years? What would you say to me?
Get rid of the perpetual poverty.
Okay.
Too many poor people in Jamaica.
All right.
We need to
so hold
get
that
rid of
thought.
that, yes.
So in the 1980s, China, communist China, which is really not communist if you think about it, grew its middle class the fastest of any country in the world. If you were to ask me the same question, I would say I want to move the working class to the middle class, and I want to double, probably even triple people's per capita income in Jamaica and have a benchmark number. Because right now it is still between 8,000 US to 10,000 US per capita per year. That's woefully inadequate for a country as talented as we are. So what do we have to do? Let's just strip it away. Let's strip away and let's get really candid about the necessities of what makes us globally competitive. And if I was to turn the question back to you and to say to you, what makes Jamaica globally competitive? If you were to take away everything, insurance, rum, because that's still our major export after alumina, after 300 years of sugar, rum is still our major export. What would you say to me we are globally competitive at? Like if everybody in here was to say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to compete against you in Africa. What would that be?
Well, first, no one can compete with us with culture.
Culture. Okay.
And of course, sports.
All right, so let's hold those two. You want to throw agriculture in the mix just for... Right. Yeah? All right. So let's choose culture. Tell me where in Jamaica is our performance-based high school? Performance arts. All right.
I'll wait. St. Andrew, Edna Manley School for the Performing Arts.
St. Andrew Technical, maybe.
High school.
So tell me a primary school, a prep school, a high school, a secondary school, whether it is in Kingston, St. James, or Maypen, where the best and brightest from basic school can go to learn to play an instrument, read notes, dance. Okay. So our culture happens by chance. Yeah? So if a youth stand up by the corner and him just have a DJ song or something, and we don't know the business of culture either, and we don't have any wealthy benefactors building museums, and we don't teach our children about museums and that kind of thing. So if they go to church, them can learn a 1-2, them can play maybe a 5-string bass and maybe the keyboard. All right. So unlike Cuba and other places where has a defined cultural strategy, Jamaica really doesn't have one. And I can speak about this because I used to be the Minister of Culture. And what you need to really drive culture is a percentage of your GDP to really fund it properly. Okay. So what we should be doing is really creating on the value chain not only cultural tourism, but also the ability to export our culture, trademark it, patent it. It's one of the reasons why I even got our first heritage site from UNESCO to start moving in a thing. And also to incentivize private sector for tax incentives to build cultural edifices or train. So there's a whole thing. But the point I'm making is let us go back to first principles about tripling people's per capita income. And that might be at a 30,000. Let's say you want to move people's per capita income to 30,000. You have to have a plan to get there. The only way you can get there is not by selling only to 3 million people. And I'm going to sue Aubin Hill for that comment because he stole it from me.
The other thing you need to do is you need to create a sports mentality that trains. Bring the players here. Create the sports academies. Create the hotels. There are hotels around the world that and luxury hotels, because I stay at them, that only focus on nutrition, regeneration, sleep science. They're not coming here. Their average room rate is $1,200 a night. And then the final thing is, since the invention of the refrigerated container, which was I think in 1902, Jamaica's agricultural innovation has remained kind of the same. We still have a concept of eat what you grow and grow what you eat. You need to eat what you grow efficiently, support your farmers in crops that will make them money, and export to the rest of the world in crops that they need. So Holland is the second largest exporter of food after it feeds itself. We should be teaming up with Holland in food innovation. We should be putting our, if you had put me to run something and say to Tabasco, I'm coming for you. You now be Jamaican pepper. I would go out there and I would incentivize pepper factories to come here. I would say to farmers, I needed to plant pepper only. We're going to take all your pepper. And I would give myself a benchmark and I would I would benchmark it to beat Tabasco. Because what we should have, you see, every corned beef you eat is made in Brazil. And the same set of people go to Brazil. Some might say we want a little more fat. Costa Rica and Domrec makes all the plantain chips that you eat. Jamaica needs to find something. That's how we're going to move people from the working class to the middle, and the middle to become owners of capital. But you can do it. It's just that the politicians take forever
Rastafari
to get it done. Thank you.
Jaja Noah. My God. Miss Hanna? No, sir. I want to marry Miss Liza right now. People, what a bag of sense. She just talk one crocus bag of sense for people. Why this make me smile? Me have a smile. She said the politicians take what? Forever. And you know why they take forever, Miss Lisa? Because they are blind. They are running down something else that is not them. Yes! What I mean by that? They are running down a foreign type of mentality. Running down technology and all these things that they lost a sense of their self. Talking, you mentioned something like insurance and all these non-tangible business things that we cannot see. Like we can't hold away. Yes, like insurance is non-tangible. It's not like something where you go buy and sell. Yes, you sell insurance, but it's a farmer. I call it, I won't say it's a trick, but however, people know insurance companies stay on insurance thing. Yes, but definitely, they are black. Okay, you see, Miss Lisa, and I'll call Lisa a roots person. Why? She see the roots. Many of these people, as I always say, they are what? A byproduct of society. They only can output what has been inputted into them. They only can redo. No matter who or no matter them that is in the leadership, they will only do what they were programmed and know how to do. They have no other programming but the programming of society. So they are a byproduct of society. They can't do nothing much different from what they were taught. And this is good that Lisa Hanna had break from that mentality and saw the truth for what it is. And know that we can only give the world what we produce. If I make coffee and I can make coffee and I have coffee here, what am I going to use to better myself? Coffee. If my father is a mechanic, what should I do? Stop trying to run down everything else and take my father's trade and better myself from it. So Jamaica has what? Marijuana, reggae music. Here she said we do not know how to capitalize and we do not know the business of culture. People, listen, Jamaica is small, and if you ever know how Europe supports reggae music, every one of us would have been reggae artists and just become a supplier of reggae music. My people, don't you see China taking it away? Another type of people producing reggae when it was what? It is a brand, Jamaica. It started in Jamaica. So this is what we should be selling. What we have, because it is trademark, it is ours. We are going to sell some, yes, but how I want, nobody else can imitate nor copy it or forge it. People, I always repeat this eat what we grow what we eat thing, you know. Yes, but I stated, I think earlier, to sell some of what we don't eat or what we don't want. But Lisa Hanna even explained it better. She said, cut out that eat what we grow rare mentality and actually put it into work. So what? Focus on one thing. And that one thing, she said she going to have a benchmark, meaning she have an aim. She want to outdo someone else. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. To set a goal. To grow your GDP. Now people, them spend money in all type of things. But not spending any money on what? Culture and entertainment. I hear about some money that should I think it's Jam World, to invest in Jam World, and Protege came out and speak about it in Jam World, to become an entertainment center. My people, we treat sports and culture like it is second hand, like we don't see that is what make the richest of the richest Jamaicans rich. Look on Bolt, look on Shaggy Sean Paul. You know, spend a percentage of the GDP, yes, our income, yes, what the country make, into that. Spend upon that. Spend on the youths them. Create recording studios all about and make we do reggae music no man for. That is what Europe think we are, you know. Many people that don't know Jamaica think Jamaica is just a country full of laxhead man who make music. You know? So, people, we need to get out of this type of mentality and be ourselves. And what Lisa Hanna just said now is a prime factor, or is a prime example to show that Jamaicans have been running from culture and running from true self. Hey, I would have married Lisa Hanna to talk like that. People, I just feel so happy because, boy, she state that, alright, Edna Manley, you know, she state that more things like this needs to be in school. We need to create a system where it's not, these things are brought. Yes, maths and English and science and social studies is important, for one can't be illiterate, but we must put more emphasis on letting the free gifts that we were born with become our source of income and start running down the slave type of training in the schools. People, she says so much, man. And she said something that hit me. She said, basically what she's saying is that why the politicians are blind. She didn't say that directly, but based on what she says, that's our I am terms in it. They are blind. What are they waiting for so long? But as I say, people, they have no roots in them. You know? And I think this is what Bob Marley means when he says that Jah will never gives the power to a bald head. Not literally meaning that because you don't have on any locks, but because you do not have any roots inside your heart. You're a byproduct of society. Hey, I would have married Lisa Hanna 1 million times for that. Much love to Lisa Hanna for that. You know, as I say, I'm not biased and I have to give her the credit for that. They say that age comes with wisdom. You know, my people, but many people are of certain age and still don't know a lot of things and still is naive to a lot of things that is going on in the country. This man will state so that a media personnel did not know certain things. But let's hear from him, my people.
Jamaican people, they are showing themselves asleep, and all when things forward, brawling in front of the eyes, and blind by the fact. I'm trying to catch the Smile Jamaica interview with Simon Crosskill and a nice, beautiful empress, goddess. And she had tell him clearly said, none of the beaches in Jamaica not owned by a Jamaican are not owned by the Prime Minister. How much I want to catch that? And if you need to watch good, you need to see enough for you. They're on the island with lack of information, lack of knowledge, like Simon Crosskill. Can you hear what Simon Crosskill said to the woman? At the first my year of that, kill him dead as a Jamaican. You have owner for beaches out here, and the government have all rights for ownership for beach out here. And Simon Crosskill them, they pan tell live vision from a toddler. Call it same they on earth before dinosaur. And if Simon Crosskill they on earth before dinosaur, and they know that, you don't feel like say you have ones before him when they know neither, and ones are forward after him when they know neither. Cause kill Jamaican people dead. So when it comes to Jamaican politics and governments, and the governments have all rights and access for the island. But all when things forward, brawling in front of the face, and a lick on the face, only still I say the said thing. We don't hear say the government have no rights and a title for none of the land them in Jamaica. None of the land them, especially the beaches, and the crown over England, and them own everything. Yes, and them own everything. Yeah, every land, every country where you think of, I know the name of, try to know say if the Pope or the monarch venture in none of these nations, even Jamaica, say the Pope or the monarch forward out of Jamaica now. And Andrew Wallace greet them. And then Andrew Wallace bring them go where the year where him live. Where me not know and me not care where Andrew Wallace want live. Me not follow crap information. So say the Prime Minister live up at Cherry Garden or up at Beverly Hills or whatsoever then. You know what I told you? and the Pope or the monarch them venture up there. And I say right now we need 50 acres of them land. And we need it from right so where you live and you less. Jamaican people. When they know say on the favourite leaders, on the favourite prime minister, have to pack up in belongings. He have to take up everything. He can't even leave a piece of thread. Can't even leave a piece of thread. Them are going to destroy it. He have to pack up everything, all in family, everything, all the house of him can break it down in pieces and bring it. But he have to lift. He have to get up. He have to move. And who up there have to move? I say I could have Cherry Garden, Beverly Hills, Jack's Hill, any one of them top high. But you notice I'm not using a garrison and a rural area. I talk about the place where have it's a rich people live. People have rights and ownership and title for all these things. Make the Pope or the monarch forward at one of these places and say they need how much acre and save the people that you have as rich people. The people that you have say they have rights and title to land if them not have get up.
The Prime Minister know what I got long, and them sell out the youth study. The whole of them happy when them see me turban. Yes, people, many who know that song definitely will know that what this man is saying, that song can give an attest to it, my people. Many illiterate people will look and say, what am I talking about? Oh, no, am I talking, say? Him write it? Call him parents. That's how many of the illiterate that does not have any wisdom, that grow old and do not understand certain things. Well, some of people, no disrespect to anyone, letting that be known clearly, but many of our elders and many people will say that age carry wisdom. And if you live to a great age, stuck in a cycle and a loop of one set of experience, you have not gathered any wisdom. For experience teaches wisdom, not age, my people. So, yes, many of us are not aware or know of much things about our past and our history. And we are brainwashed over a number of years, you know. Many of us need to wake up and smell the coffee and smell what is cooking in the kitchen. You know, many of us have reached certain age and we never try to really, all we have studied is one set of things. We never really try to dig into our history and know the truth. You know, enough of us, we are illiterate. One time we couldn't read, or they wouldn't give us a chance to read, and now we are able to read. And many people decided that their learning stops at the church and after high school. You know, many people don't even know that history itself is a subject and a topic to study. You know, history beyond what they have taught us about slavery. Now, many people would say that, or many religious people say that black people suffer from some curse. No, they don't suffer from no curse. They suffer. The only thing I would say I would call a curse that many of us suffer from is ignorance and illiteracy. You know, because the Bible said what my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. You get me? Many people don't have the knowledge. The true reason why we suffer is because our legacy has been stolen. We do not suffer and lack anything, really, in our sense. They create an illusion in our mind that we lack certain things. For nature and life give it everything unto us from birth. We have the lands, we have the precious gold, we have the jewelry. But it's just that they have taken away the land from us. As I hear this man say, we have a lot of things and claiming that we own it because we have a piece of paper, which we call title for it, that we are entitled to it. But my people, if you don't pay up your taxes, all of what you claim that you own can be taken away from you. Through what? Brute force. You get me, my people? So all of what we claim that we own, they own it by brute force and by installing programs into our subconscious mind that they don't have to use this anymore. So we automatically work out of nothing. So our land, for nothing I should say, so our land and all of that, they own it. By what? Planting subconscious beliefs in our mind and take it away. We have so much beliefs that are outdated and beliefs that does nothing but bring us doom, and we believe in them. Nothing gives you true control. Listen, religion doesn't give you true control. Yes, it controls some, it lets some people control some people to an extent. But this is what people, they have used weapons and war engineering to take away our land and our legacy. Not just here in Jamaica, but in all the world. All over the continent of Africa. And that has been going from the day. So here's what they do. Is, for instance, your father left a vineyard for you with herds of cattle and sheep, and that's your legacy from your father to you. And then a strange man come in, friend your father, you know, unalive your father, and then you are a child, so that man growed you and implant some things in your mind, and then his children inherit your father's legacy. So that is what happened to many of us. We are not under a curse, my people, but we are under a spell of ignorance and illiteracy, which is deluding us, causing us not to see the reality. So we must wake up and take our land and what is truly ours. You know, my people, so I definitely support a lot of what this man is saying. So yes, my people, thank you for watching these very interesting videos. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. And yes, I love when I look in the comment section, I see you people commenting, you know, and holding a reason. That's very good. You know, my people. So big up on yourself and stay tuned as always. Hot Water, Busmal Ryan.
Hot Water Channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people then. Original generous P. Same way. Man, big up Hot Water Channel. Enough ice cream. Yeah, man. Big up yourself.